Dear friends, welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be diving into another interesting machine on the VulnHub, which is Infinity Stones. The link will be put to the video below so that you can download it and play it on your own. Unlike other machines on the VulnHub, not only we need to get loot from the boot, but also we need to gather 6 infinity stones. This is a big or huge task. And this mission involves so many interesting and useful techniques. Among them, I'm going to showcase how to use Metasploit to exploit this application, Jenkins, which is open source automation server. But to be more important, I'm going to show you how to manually exploit this application or this system. So, however, before we get started, make sure to subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up. It really helps the channel grow. So then we can head over to Linux VM to begin with. First of all, we need to discover the IP address of the target machine. The utility I'd like to use, as always, would be netdiscover. Alright, as you can see over here, the IP address of the target machine could be recognized as 253. So what shall we do next? We need to perform port and surface scanning with a map. To save time of this video, I've already done that before. So now we can get out its result. Let's scroll up a bit. So as you can see over here, I took the options like scene scan, default script scan, followed by the version scan and full range port scan. The last option for all is ON to output the result into this file. Then we can retrieve scanning results anytime, just as what I'm doing now. Although you can notice here, the IP address of the target machine has been changed since I re-imported the machine into the VirtualBox. So this time, different IP address has been assigned to this target machine by internal DHCP server of VirtualBox. Anyhow, this won't affect our operation. So now let's take a look at the scanning results of a map. As you can see, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 open ports in total. Let's take a look at them one by one. The first open port 22, the surface is SSH or secure shell surface, and also we can get the version information, including its exact version number. Though this version is a bit outdated, I don't think we can find any workable exploit. The second open port is 80, and the surface or protocol is HTTP or Hypertext Transfer Protocol. And also we can get the exact version information, Apache 2. So from the title and the header, we can tell both 8 and 443 ports are running the same application, Infinity Stones. And if you look at this line carefully, we can get the first flag very easily. We can copy and paste over here. So this is the first flag we have already retrieved without too much difficulty. Okay, and the last one is 8080, And the service is also HTTP. And this is Jetty 9.4.z snapshot robots. Later we can check it out manually. Okay, so what are we going to do next? We need to emulate this web application first. Okay, now let's open up the browser to perform manual emulation first. Let's fire up the browser. And oh, sorry, I think I need to write this ports information down to our notebook. Second open port is this one, Apache. And next one is Apache 2 as well, but this is SSL. And last one, Jetty. So the first port number I'm going to emulate is 80. And so now we can access or put the IP address of the target machine into the address bar of the browser. Infinity Stones CDF, some pictures. So I think this site is very similar to one machine we have already done maybe the day before yesterday. I don't know. I cannot remember it very clearly. And we can check its source code. And we can scroll down to the bottom. We can't find anything else. So next, also we can find this hyperlink. And this is a queasy. Computers tells us binary is the path to reality. And there are 8 questions to be answered. Maybe for now, I can put it aside for a while. I will come back to it later. Some quiz. Okay. So next, I'd like to access its robots file if it exists, but not found. Let me launch Nikto to perform automatic emulation. The server request a header. Images. Maybe we can have a look at this directly. Images. And there are several pictures, but nothing very unusual, right? Very interesting. Although there is images directory, there is another directory image. Very interesting. Let me access this directory as well. And there is one picture. So I think this deserves our furthermore analysis. We can save image to our working directory. Infinity. Save. And now we can have a look at this file. We can use Exiftool space. These two can review metadata of this picture. And, the comment shows us the second flag or second stone, second type of stone. Not too much trouble. So now, what we can do next? I think we can use wget to, or not wget, my bad. I'd like to launch Gobuster to perform directory enumeration. Let me autocomplete this command to see what we can get. Wi-Fi. Interesting. Almost immediately, Gobuster find new directory Wi-Fi. And the two files. The first one, it looks like this is the password. Beautiful. And there is another kappa file. We can download it to our working directory. Let me move from downloads directory. So what's the name? Reality. Okay, let me open up this pkappa file. This kappa file with white shock. Let's hit enter. So it looks like all packets are Wi-Fi. We can't do very much, and we cannot check the details of different layers of a packet, like IP layer, DSP layer. This is caused by encryption of Wi-Fi or WLAN. So we can, I think we can crack its password, right? So can we, let me launch Aircrack, and reality Wordlist. Locue. I'm not sure whether the Wordlist of Locue can work. If it can't, maybe we need to find some other word list, or even we need to create our own word list. Oh, sorry, I forgot to check this pwd text file. Maybe this is the password. Oh, password is this one. Sender's daughter name, Jam. Note it's all lowercase, plus the following. Maybe I can stop because the word list will not work. I mean, the locue will not work in this case. We should follow the hints left by the author. We need to create the word list, and the word list, or each word should comply with this requirement. So jam followed by uppercase character and two numbers, two lowercase, and the year of the first Avengers came out in theater. Maybe we can copy. We can use Google to make research first. Theater. Oh, I think this should be 2012, right? And how to create the word list based on specified rules. And we can make use of this crunch utility. I think by default, newer Linux distribution has this crunch installed. If not, installation itself will be very easy. And let's go back to Linux. Let's launch crunch, and the should be 12, right? So 3 characters, 3, 4, 6, 8, and 4, 8, 20, 12, no, not 20. And we need to, so I think, we need to follow. Yeah, so uppercase characters should be this one, the comma, and the numbers. So what's number? Yeah, percent stand for numbers. Okay, let me do it now. So gem and lowercase. Oh, lowercase. Oh, two numbers. Number is percent, right? Number percent and percent, and then lowercase characters at to eta, and then I think we can output to dictionary. Press enter. Oh, I forgot to put the last 4 characters. Let's press enter. It's done. We can check how many words in this dictionary. Oh, very big with the list. So now we can launch Aircrack. And the word list is our created word list. Almost immediately we find this not directly this password. So I have some problem. Yeah, we can copy and paste over here. So what is this for? This is not a password. Possibly this is another directory. Let me access this one to try. Indeed, and we can download this file, or not a file. This is just another stone. Beautiful. And so far we have already retrieved, we have already gathered 3 stones without too much trouble. And what can we do next? I think, of course, I forgot to access is HTTPS version of this application, right? Let's have a look at this one to see what we can get. But it's exactly the same application. However, if you check its certificate information, and we can get this, the flag or stone. But I think at the very beginning, we have already retrieved this stone or this flag already by the map. Okay, so if you miss this step, it doesn't matter. Okay, so now I think the only remaining clue left is this one, and this is some kind of a quiz we need to answer, because yes, the binary, the path to reality. And then to get this path, we need to answer all of 8 questions. Of course, you can use Google to make some research, but I will not do this way. I'm going to crunch one more time to create the word list and then combine with directory enumeration 2 like Gobuster. Okay, because as we know, true means 1 and false means 0, because this is the binary, right? So let me show you what we can do. Crunch 8 and second dictionary. So now we can launch Gobuster again, but this time we can use this created word list. Okay, we find the new directory. I must admit this is a very tough point to support. But anyhow, we can access this directory, and there is another hint. And I think we have already gone through this encoding, which is a Brainfuck, and we can copy and go to this website to decode it. Of course, I've already decoded before, so now we can copy and paste over here. So this should be the credentials, but where to use this credential. And this doesn't look like credential for SSH. So maybe these credentials can be possibly used for the last port number or last application which is running on the port number 880. Now let's access this port number now. And we can try to use a domain and the password Avengers. We can copy. So now we are in the Jenkins automation server. So how to the next? We need to get foothold on the, on the target machine by manipulating or by exploiting Jenkins. How to do? Let me show you two different approaches. The first one is Metasploit framework. Okay, let me launch Metasploit console with Q or quiet mode. Now we can search Jenkins, and the module I'm going to use is this one. We can copy and paste over here. Now we can, of course, we should change the payload. However, if you now use set the payload and use the tab feature, this will not work. Or, it's not easy to find appropriate payload for us. Instead, we need to set the target. We can show options. Right now, the target is Windows, of course. Our target machine is Linux for certain, and we can set the target to 1, and then we can show options again. This time, the machine is Linux. So now we can set the payload to Linux and 64 and Metadata, reverse TCP, and then we can show options one more time. Set local host to our Kali Linux. Set local port number to 555, and set remote host to our target, and set remote port number to 8080. Okay, let me run show options again to see what else we need to configure. Target UI is not correct. Set target UI to root, and set username as admin. Set a password to this one. Okay, so I think that's all we have to configure, right? Let me run it. We successfully got Metadata session. So this is the first approach, but also I'm going to show you how to manually get initial foothold. Okay, so let me exit from Metasploit framework, and let me set up the listener first with netcat, waiting for collection from the target machine. And we need to, sorry, I think we can go back and go to manage Jenkins and go to script console, and we can put the Groovy script and to get the reverse shell. And we can stand on the shoulders of other guys. We can go to this website to generate, you select Groovy. I will also put this link in the video below so that you can use it, okay, if you want. And we can copy and paste in here. We can change the IP address, so this should be this one. We can copy and replace, and port number 555. You can use any port number what you're comfortable with. We can copy and paste in here, then run it. As you can see, we also can get the collection from the target machine. Beautiful. So I'm going to take this shell to go ahead, okay? And we can spawn an interactive shell by Python. Python 3 is available. So now we can go to home directory, because I'm going to gather information to find vector which allow us to elevate privilege. Go to stones. Nothing here. Desktop. Documents. Nothing here. Let's go to OPT. There is script. And this script, let me check its type. Script. As a matter of fact, this is Linux 64-bit executable. And interesting, this binary has SUID bit. So maybe we can run it to see what it's about or how it behaves. Even we can get another stone or another flag. We can copy and paste over here. So far we have already grabbed 4 stones. Beautiful. So next, I think we need to check this file. This is the Keepass Database file, and we can transfer this file to our Linux for analysis. So how to do? Let me set up web server on the target machine, and we can copy this file name and we can download it. Paste in here. Okay, so now how to open this file? You have different ways to install some sort of utility, even command line, but I think the most reliable way is to download this executable from GitHub. If you have a problem, maybe you can use Google to make some research. It's not very complicated to get this file, and then we can run it, and we can open, because I've already imported. But to open this database, we need to provide a password. Let me close it for now. So how to do? We can use John Ripper, But before we can use joint reaper, we need to convert it to hash, which can be cracked. Okay, so this should be key pass, and so and hash is 2, and now we can use joint reaper to crack it. Okay, because I've already done that before, so now we can use the show option to review the cached password. Okay, so this one. So now we can open this database one more time, and we can open and supply the password unlock. And here, different information. The first one is a flag, and we can get another Sudo. We can copy and paste in here. Also, we can find another, so okay, another table. Maybe this is the table, right? And we can double click, and then we can get this node. We can copy. Of course, we need to decode it. Base 64. So this should be the username and password. So now we can SSH to the target machine. We need to remove this first. And we can copy his password. Paste in here. No problem. Now we can run sudo. I think we can easily elevate privilege by ft command. And but of course the question is how to do, right? We can go to the website of GTFOBeams, and we can sudo, and then we can get the privileged shell. Okay, sudo ftp, very easy. And now we can navigate to root directory and to grab the final flag. Even, contains the last Sudo. Okay, so we successfully grab or gather 6 Sudos in total. So I think that's pretty much it. I'd like to see you next. Bye. Have a nice day, please.